y'all, we're back. I don't know how many days it's been, but hey girl, hey. No, I have not figured out how to put this windshield wiper fluid in the thing just yet. We're still working on that, but I'll keep you updated. Y'all, I had enough points to redeem for a mocha frap at McDonald's, and when I got to the window, they didn't have any. I didn't even see it scratched out on the menu. To me, it appeared that they had it, but hey, I'ma just go with it. They didn't have it, so she offered me a peppermint mocha with the whipped cream and all that, so that it'll have the appearance of a frap, but it's not actually a frap. And I'm not a fan, but I'ma drink it though. I'm not a fan, but anyway, it's missing something. I feel like it needs to be maybe a little sweeter, or I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm gonna tell y'all what I am a fan of though. That spaghetti that I cooked the other night, girl. Oh, that thing was so good. I don't know what was different about this time, but it was just amazing. Like, it was really good. And it was just basic spaghetti, y'all. I ain't do nothing extra to it. I did, okay, I ain't gonna say I ain't do nothing extra. Well, I ain't do nothing that I wouldn't normally do, you know. Regular ingredients, ground turkey. I used some of the yellow peppers. I used some of the frozen spinach that I had and the rest of the frozen mushrooms. I used my fancy seasoning that Olivia got me, the tomato, basil, oregano, or something of a sort. And I used whole grain pasta noodles, which are good. And next day, y'all, we are in D&K. Today, I've got the hunt out of the house. We've had some business to take care of this morning, and he's been on the hunt for some corduroy pants. So, girl, we done been to Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Ross, and now we're at D&K. We found one pair of corduroy pants. I had been telling him for a while that I was going to bring him out and let him get some stuff for himself instead of me buying it for him. You know, me paying for it, and then he just has to settle with whatever I get him. So he is in charge of getting his stuff today, and I'm just chaperoning and keeping a watchful eye, you know, intervening when I need to, and doing all the things. So we found one pair of pants. I'm just waiting on him to come out of the dressing room so that we could pay for it. And I'm not sure where our next store is going to be after this. It really depends on where else he wants to go today. Okay, we're back. Why are men's undergarments so daggone expensive, girl? It's a new day, by the way. I don't know if it's the next day or a couple days later, girl. But hey, girl, hey. Okay, listen. Today, I took my husband on a field trip. You know, he's in the house all the time. And so today we did a lot of running around. We had a lot of stores that we went to, a lot of stores that he wanted to go to because he wanted to find a pair of corduroy pants. Girl, and we finally found them. We found them at D&K, honey, because they didn't have them. We went to Ross, we went to Marshall's, we went to TJ Maxx. I forgot to go to Burlington, but we went to D&K. And that's where it ended. I'm glad we didn't go to Burlington because that just would have been another trip, probably for no reason. Because, girl, where do they sell corduroys at? I even asked him, I said, well, do you want to go to the thrift store? Because I haven't seen corduroy pants being sold in the store forever and a day. But see, y'all, just to give y'all some context. My husband, he's in his 50s and he is somewhat stuck in the past. And so he still loves, you know, his 90s fashion, early 2000, like he, you know, he old school. He, you know, he still like what he like, right? So the newer trends, he ain't really feeling, which I ain't really feeling either. A dude walking around in skinny jeans, they got rips on the knees and all that kind of stuff, to each his own, but that's just not for me, okay? However, we did find the corduroys. We found a pair that he could fit. He tried them on. They had a fitting room. Thank you, Jesus. Because now I know when I go get him a pair of pants, I know for sure what size to get. Lately, we've just been guesstimating, okay? Because when I get him pants, he's not with me, and I have to like kind of guess and hope for the best, right? Well, we ain't have to do that today. So he found a pair of corduroys, girl, over at the K&D, or whatever you want to call it, Suit City, and they were, let's see, how much was these? It was like $30, I think. And girl, I had to stop him because he wanted to get a pair of every color. And I was like, absolutely not. We're going to have to do one and then maybe come back for a different color or something. Because girl, that would have been like about $100 worth of pants. No ma'am. Okay. And it's going to be hot. So, I mean, who really going to be wearing, the seasons are going to be changing soon, y'all. So, who really going to be wearing corduroys when it's hot outside? Okay, I digress. Whatever, girl. I had to let him do what he do. Sometimes you just got to let people be people, okay? You got to let people and not let it bother you, right? Okay. Girl, but we made it through. We got the pants. We got one pair of pants. Then we went over to Walmart because I needed some stuff from Walmart. I'm starting my household, getting my house together, stocking up on all that stuff, right? Because we've already done the groceries and everything. Now it's time for like cleaning products, toilet paper, all that stuff, right? Okay, so we went to Walmart and I said, hey, you need some underclothes to go with what you already got. Because again, I had gotten some in the past, but money be a little funny sometimes, so I couldn't like just really do it like that, right? But I had been telling him for months, hey, I'm going to just give me some time. I'm going to take you to Walmart and we're going to get you some things that you need. So that's what we did. We went and got him some underclothes. Girl, why are men's underclothes so daggone expensive? This pack of t-shirt right here was $20-something for 10 shirts, girl. For 10 shirts, this was $23, okay? T-shirts. No nothing on them, just plain white t-shirts. And all of them were priced like that. And for this particular Walmart that I went to was different from all the other Walmarts that I go to because these weren't locked behind cages, girl. So I guess they don't get a lot of theft at that store. I didn't have to call customer service or nothing to come unlock the t-shirts and the drawers for me to get them out. Can you believe it? All right, so I'm in the kitchen. I decided to do a little bit of prep. One of you gave me the idea of cooking down my peppers and then refreezing them. If you saw my previous videos, you guys know that I've been doing food hauls and all the things, trying to stock up my kitchen. And one of the problems that I ran into on the last community food bank haul that I shared with you guys, I was talking about storage, where I was going to put stuff, okay? So I went to the store this morning to get some meat because we have a lot of chicken, but we don't have a lot of other options outside of chicken when it comes to meat, right? We basically didn't have anything, okay? So in order for me to store what I bought this morning, I have to make room. But I wanted to go ahead and get the meat part out of the way because I feel like, okay, then I'm good for the month. I shouldn't have to really go to the store for too much of anything for the rest of January, right? We are stocked up for sure. Okay, real quick. So one of the things that I bought was some fish and some shrimp. The shrimp was buy one, get one free. The fish was a really good price. I got the swa. Yeah, so I got 2 bags of those. They're on a really good deal today. And then along with some fruit, I also got meat-wise 2 of these ground turkeys. They was reduced quick sale, $6.99. So I got 2 of those. And then I've got 2 things of assorted pork chops. They were like $7.80 each. Okay, so all of this needs to go in the freezer, right? So the issue that I was having with this freezer was all of the bags of peppers that I had. So months ago, I was blessed with a lot of boxes of yellow peppers. We cut them up together in a video, did all the things, and I've been using them, but I've got a lot left, right? I've got some of these littler bags. I was able to break down some of the bigger bags into these smaller bags as I was using them. So I've got that one, and then I've got like 2 more, I believe, of those size freezer bags in the deep freezer. Okay, so here are the bags that were taking up the majority of the space in the freezer. These big bags of peppers. So they've been sitting out, thawing out a little bit. I'm gonna cook them down. I'm gonna refreeze them. So to the young lady that commented that under that community food bank video, thank you. That was a great idea. So with that, in this freezer, it was full because over the course of time, I have accumulated multiple bags of leg quarters that were given already frozen, and I didn't want to thaw them out, so I just threw them in the deep freezer. But they take up a lot of space, right? So I thawed out one bag of the 10-pound bag of leg quarters, and I'm going to prep the 3 bowls. Well, actually, I'm going to do prep 2, and I took the pieces that were still kind of frozen that were in the middle of the other pieces, and I put them in this bowl because we can eat that. That'll be dinner for tomorrow. But for the freezer, I split them up. I've got 4 in each bowl. Well, I've got 4.5 in this bowl, and then I've got 4 leg quarters in that bowl, which will be totally fine. There's just 3 of us. That's 8 pieces of chicken. And I'm going to season these up, and I'm going to throw them in my casserole dishes. I've got 2 right here, and I've already got my oven set to 400. I'm going to bake those and then let it cool down. I'm going to put them in the freezer bag and put them in the freezer. All right, I've pulled out all of the seasonings that I want to use. So we've got minced garlic, we've got ginger, powdered garlic, Bon Appetit Herbe de Provence spice blend. And just in case you guys did not see my Christmas video, it has basil, oregano, fennel seed, lavender, parsley, rosemary, sage, thyme, and marjoram. They fancy. So I pulled that out. Then I've got my regular paprika. I'm not going to use smoked paprika today. Then I've got some ground turmeric, some black pepper, and some onion powder. How I'm going to season these up to make them a little bit different from the other, not really sure. I'm just going to let my hands lead the way. Never mind. Okay. Like that was enough. missing something. So let's do a little bit of this. Okay, I think we getting somewhere. So this chicken is like a, I guess, Italian chicken almost, right? This one is regular schmegler, a little bit, you know, paprika. Turmeric is what's giving it its color, but other than that, it's pretty much got the same basic seasonings on that one. And then we've got this one right here. Now, it looked a little bland with just the onion powder, pepper, and the garlic powder, so I put the minced garlic in this one and the ginger paste, but I also added this salt-free seasoning and this Sunshine all-purpose seasoning, which has garlic, ginger, pineapple, and mango. So I feel like they'll each have somewhat of a different flavor because of the seasoning. So yeah. Okay, I've got 2 pounds, I've got 2 packages of the 3-pound ground turkey meat. So my thought process with this is what I would normally do is I would split them in half and I would bag them up. But this time I want to stretch them just a tidbit further, create just a couple of more meals out of them, right? So with this one, I'm going to just go ahead and split this one in half. So each bag is going to have 1.5 pounds of ground turkey meat. And since that's a little bit more than 1 pound, I could use that amount for tacos, chili, spaghetti, the dishes that I would need more than 1 pound of meat for, okay? And then with this one, I can go ahead and split it in 3s, and that'll be 1 pound per Ziploc bag, and I could figure out something to do with each pound. All right, we're still working on the peppers. This is the first bag of peppers. I've already drained them once, so I'm letting them cook down some more. The water is building up again, so I'm gonna drain it. When it starts to get a little bit more full of water, I'm gonna drain it some more and let it cook down some more. Let it cool off. Then I'm gonna put it in a, I'm gonna split it up actually and put it in a freezer bag. But with the meat, Wayfield never fails me, you guys. I love going to Wayfield for the meat. You get a lot more for your money. compared to the Kroger prices of meat. So 3-pound bags, we've got 3 1-pound bags and 2 1.5-pound bags. And then with the pork chops, I had 2 packs of pork chops, and I was able to get 16 pieces out of those 2 packs of pork chops. So I divided them up into 3 bags. So we've got 6 per bag. So yay. Now these are going to go in the freezer to keep the chicken company and the 2 rolls of ham.